Here with John Spanos, the president of football operations for the Chargers, and as we get ready for Cleveland this week, interesting statistic I want to throw your way. Only one player in the last handful of seasons, Jordy Nelson, had 4 or more touchdowns of 50 or more yards in a single season. Travis Benjamin has 4 already. How good is this guy?
Well, he's really talented, and a lot of that you alluded to with the really high number of big plays. His yards per catch is through the roof, and a lot of it starts with his speed. He's a really explosive player, very fast at the wide receiver position. Ran in the 4.3s at the combine coming out of Miami. Has contributed not only as a receiver, but a punt returner, very good punt returner for the Browns as well. And you'll see here a play where he's really using his speed. This is from this year against the Titans. And here he is down at the bottom of the screen. And as I've said before in this segment, what we look at when we evaluate wide receivers is their get off, right? Their stance and start. And how quickly do they come off the ball? Are they someone who they come out of their stance with burst and explosion, or do they roll off the ball? And you can see here clearly Travis Benjamin has tremendous explosion off the line of scrimmage. And in a very, very short amount of time, he's able to get on top of and beyond the corner on this play. Now, the other part about being a great deep threat, obviously, that goes along with speed is you have to have hands to come down with the ball. And it's not just hands, it's the ability to track the deep ball, to adjust to the deep ball. And you can see here, he does a really nice job. He weaves, his route takes him inside the hash, and then he tracks it and weaves outside very smoothly, very nicely, never loses sight of the ball, is able to come down with the ball, make a big play, and score the touchdown. The other thing we talked about with Travis Benjamin is his punt return ability. And you'll see here the same game, takes a punt back against the Titans. And one of the first things, obviously, with punt returns is you got to be able to secure the ball. You got to catch it cleanly. He does that nicely. And then what we look for in punt returners is guys who can get north-south in a hurry, guys who can get north-south with acceleration and burst. You got to have someone who's willing to attack the coverage. And you can see right here, he sets up the return with a couple of lateral steps, and then immediately, boom, right there, he cuts upfield. He's able to attack the coverage, get past the first line, and then from there, it's just about using his speed, using his instincts and his vision to outrun, to elude the last remaining tacklers, jump over the last guy there, and get in the end zone. So clearly, you can see he's a guy, uses his speed to his advantage, makes a lot of big plays for the Browns.
Well, John, on the other side of the ball, Danny Shelton. Guy comes into the league from the University of Washington with a ton of hype. I know it's early, but what have you seen from him so far in the season?
Yeah, he's doing a really good job early on in his career. Like you said, coming out of Washington, highly touted prospect, was a first-round pick, someone they plugged in right away along the D-line, and he's been making an impact for them. A big guy, big, strong guy along the D-line. He's close to 340 pounds, so he can really anchor down. He can hold the point versus the run. And for a guy that size, he actually has really good athletic ability. You don't see feet on a big man that often, and this guy's got some range, he has some feet. He's not just a guy who clogs the middle. And you can see here, this is a play from the preseason, actually the first play of the game for the Browns defense against the Bucs offense. And you're going to see him right here lined up just on the outside shade of the center, right at the nose tackle position. And this is going to be a run play. And you're going to see the starting guard, Logan Mankins, is going to come down. He's just going to try to base block Danny, and he's going to try to just get some movement here. But what you're going to see is an excellent job by Danny of staying low, using his lower body strength to hold up at the point, really knock the offensive lineman back, use his hands to shed, and then right here even you see a little bit of range to be able to come down the line and get to the ball. Again, not easy for a man 340 pounds, but he makes it look very easy. Big, strong body in there on the defensive line, and a physical presence for them as well.